messing with the lighting because I don't have the best camera in the world right now, so I hope things start to improve as I make more videos. Anyways, my name's Chelsea. Welcome back to my channel. Today is going to be another anti-MLM video. I actually wanted to get into explaining the Monat Motor Club program and how it actually works, and I actually found a video of somebody that is really high up in Monat. She's like $1 million earner or whatever, and she does a little video talking about the motor club. And I just kind of wanted to point out a few of the things she says to really explain what you would really be getting yourself into if you were to do the motor club program, and point out that this is not free. So if you like anti-MLM content and hair content, because I am also a hairstylist and stuff like that, like and subscribe to this video, and let's get into it. I actually just went and got myself a drink after my dog started barking, so let's really get started.
Hi friends, I've decided I get a lot of questions about the car program, so I thought how fun to go live outside. It's such a beautiful day. I'm just enjoying nature. I got back from the beach and I am still napping, and my work day is over. It's 2:30. I got to go out for the day, have fun at a beach picnic.
Okay, real quick. No, she's still working right now. That's why she's on this live, because she's trying to show you, look what you can do in this program. Anyways, yeah, I just wanted to point that out.
And now I'm home, my work day's done, and so the twins are still napping, so I'm like, let's talk about the car program, because I just left a handful of girls that are midway through the comp plan, and I have 5 more girls, at least, like 5 girls currently that are all direct with me, that are going for their Cadillac and will be driving them beyond a shadow of a doubt by the end of the year. And so that's a lot of people. and there's one thing I really, really attest to: their growth, their success. And yes, like a lot of them joined during COVID or started, working their business in 2020, but more than anything, we've really developed like a really well-oiled system for success. And so I have been getting a lot of questions, like I said, about the car.
It makes me really sad that so many people joined MLMs during COVID, and excuse me. And that was when I really started working my business. I had joined a little bit before, but when I was in Monat, in case some of you guys haven't caught on yet and watched some of my other anti-MLM videos, but I was in Monat and I really went hard on it because I'm a hairstylist and there was nothing else for me to do. I mean, I'm in California and we were shut down for a majority of the year, so I really went hard because I was like desperate to make money. So it's like just knowing my mindset of where I was at that time, like struggle bus hardcore, and like just really depressed because I didn't have my career. Like, I know that's why some of these other girls did this, like out of desperation. And it just like, I mean, on the one hand, I'm like happy they're successful and almost getting it to that Cadillac rank, but it's like there's always people at the bottom losing money, and we just have to like remember that,
Our program, and I'm going to talk about it. So when you reach a certain level in the company, and this is kind of the same even with my husband's company, like certain sales guys, if they drove X amount of time, around, then they got the option to get a company car.
So it's not the same. Because if you just do really well in a sales company and you bring in enough revenue, then they'll give you a company car. And with Monat, you can't get the car just by making sales. You have to be a certain rank, and in order to be that rank, you have to have people underneath you at certain ranks also recruiting people in order for you to earn that Cadillac.
And a gas card, right? And so like with Monat, we get...
And Monat doesn't give you a gas card, so I don't understand how she's even comparing the two.
To the level of market mentor, which means your MM, and you have 2 MMVs under you, and it gets really confusing if you aren't into it, but it's really cool because if you do that for 3 months in a row, the company says, okay, you bring in enough volume that we can afford to say, here is an allowance on a car if you want it, okay? So it's nothing that Monat says like anybody has to do. I definitely have girls that are in their Cadillacs that just are opting to not do it. It's not for anyone. I didn't know. I'm almost 4 years driving this. And I literally thought when I joined that this might be a scam. This might just take my money. And I'm driving this guy 4 years, and now it's going to be time. We're looking for a new one just because it's almost paid off. And it's crazy that even if I decided to pay it off, I'd still earn my car allowance, which is really cool too because
That's pretty cool. I will give it that their motor club program, if you do choose to buy the car and then you pay the car off, that according to her, I don't know this for sure, but even if you've paid your car off, you'll continue to get that car allowance. So, I mean, that's kind of cool. But I do think it sucks that how in the beginning she said, or maybe she says this later in the video, that you can choose not to get the car, but then you still won't get the car allowance. But if you get the car and then you no longer have a car payment, you can still get the car allowance. I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me.
I'm a car driver, so pretty much all my gas and would pay for itself virtually. So, okay, you get to a certain level, you hit it for 3 months, you get accepted into the car program. You can choose to take it or leave it, right? Well, then, let's say you go, okay, I do want to do it. You can lease one, you can buy one, whatever you want to do, it's your car. And I love that no matter what, this is my car, my responsibility, it's in my name. And that might make some people feel weird. I've seen some people kind of come at me like, oh, well, it's in their own name, trying to say it like it's a bad thing. But I'm like, look, if anything happens.
They're coming at you not because the car is in your name, but because you're claiming it to be a company car. So that would mean that it was in Monat's name. But the car is in your name, so it's not a company car. So going back to that whole comparing it to your husband's sales job, not the same at all.
This is my car, which also, on the other side of that, I was like, am I really going to do this and take on a car payment? Because I never had a car payment over $330 in my life. I had a Ford Focus, I had a Scion, I had an old Explorer, I had all these older cars, but I was like, okay, I guess I'm gonna do this. We'll see. I mean, worst case scenario, we can sell it, right? And even if we break even, whatever. So that was kind of always the backup plan in my mind. Because we didn't know what was gonna happen with Monat. We didn't know it was gonna take off like it has. We didn't know any of this. So every month that you maintain that rank of MM, you get a $500 car allotment on your commission check. And that's a standard for MM. So super cool. You get the 500. Some people keep their car payment around that. Some people get their car payment, over $1,000 if you get the newer Escalades, right? So it's just up to you, and then it actually will cover a portion of the payment. And then whatever's the remainder of the car payment that's out of your pocket from the rest of your check or, wherever, if you have other jobs or whatever, then that you can write off because.
Okay, so I'm pretty sure I'm not a CPA or a tax person, but she seems to think you can just write off the remaining of the car payment as a business expense because the company's not paying for it. I don't know if that's true. That seems like BS to me. I do appreciate that she was honest, they're only going to give you $500, and a lot of the Cadillac cars that are required, or that qualify for this, their monthly payments are way more than $500. I went through I went on autotrader.com and just searched for something local to me, so that way, say I got this, I would want to get something local so I could go test drive it, and I wouldn't want to get something online and hope that I like it. So even looking at used Cadillacs, I only found 2 that were under 500, and one of them was only barely under 500, but then now you have the insurance for a new Cadillac and all that. So even like your used Cadillacs, I'm looking at the computer right now and I love that it's right behind here because I'm still looking at you. But there was one here. So there is one that is the Cadillac XTS Luxury. So it's just like the base four-door sedan. That one's $440 a month with 23,000 miles on it, or almost 24,000 miles on it. That one's doable. But granted, this is in your name. So you're only going to have that monthly payment if you have a good credit score and you can get a really low interest rate. If you don't have a good credit score or somebody that's a cosigner, you wouldn't even be leaving the lot with a Cadillac no matter what the payment would be. And then a lot of these other ones, there was one that I found that was like way cheaper monthly, and this was based on the $1,000 I think that they give you as a down payment to cover taxes, and then based on like a really good credit score, or like a decent credit score, I guess. And the only other one that I found besides that $440 a month was one that had, I can't find it now. Of course I can't. Maybe it's not here anymore. Okay, here it is. It has over 60,000 miles on it already, and it's a 2016. Why would you get a car that, I don't know, I guess I would just feel like if a company was like paying for the car, that I would get something that has a lot less miles and that would like last a while. In retrospect, 60,000 isn't like a whole lot, but you're creeping up close on that 100,000 miles. You're going to have to do a lot of extra maintenance and stuff. And this is just my knowledge of like what I would do. I'm car shopping right now, and it's always a really big decision for some people. I would definitely not lean towards the car that has 60,000 miles on it just because it is covered under the $500 a month, because the more miles on it, the more maintenance you're going to have to do, and the more things might break, and then you're not, that additional $100 that you're saving from your car, whatever, your car bonus isn't going to cover the repairs that might happen and the extra maintenance that goes through a car that has a lot more miles on it.
Like the portion of your car payment, because that's not being paid for by your company in a sense. And I know some people get confused because they're like, are they just directly paying your car payment or what? But it just all kind of comes in the lump sum in your commission check that you get. And so we actually just got our commission reports dropped. It's the 13th today. Yeah, it's the 13th of the month. Our commission reports dropped. They will deposit it into our account tomorrow.
And no, what she's talking about is the bonus check that you get on the 15th of every month. Every Friday you get the commission checks. So that's just me correcting her in her own business because I was in Monat and I know.
So we know, what we know ahead of time, what our payday is going to look like. And when you get to the rank of Associate Executive Director, which means you basically have two Cadillacers under you, or Cadillac rank people under you, then you get $750 towards your car payment. And then when you get to the top of the comp plan, which is SED, you get $1,000 towards your car payment, and then you also get the option to do a Range Rover or another car that's not Cadillac.
I think the other Cadillac, the other car that you can get besides a Range Rover or a Cadillac is a Jaguar. I'm not sure if the Range Rover and the Jaguar have to be white. I would imagine they do. I just only remember reading that part of the Cadillac. After we go through her video, I want to actually pull up the Monat's instructions. But even looking at Range Rovers now, that's essentially when you'd finally be able to save some money. I can't even find a white one. I found one white one, and it's still $1,300 a month. Most of these are $1,300 a month, or barely under $1,000. Those would be the ones I guess you'd want. I can't even imagine what car insurance is like on one of those.
Which I know a lot of SEDs are getting Range Rovers and things like that. And so that's kind of how it works. And some people will be like, well, what about if you miss a month? You get a grace period if you don't. But typically, by the time you're hitting those ranks multiple months in a row, your business is pretty well balanced to sustain it. I have seen people dip down out of it just because different things happen. But it's not super common.
she is probably right about that. I do feel like once you get to that Cadillac rank, I know people do drop. It just kind of, what scares me and why I don't like this is that you still are relying on your people. Once you get to the market mentor, you're relying on people underneath you to maintain their ranks. That's how you maintain your rank. So if somebody really strong underneath you that is like your reliable person, and you don't have like three of the people at the rank, even though you only need two, and something happens to that one person, they either choose to leave or something else happens that causes them to not work the business anymore, then you have to hope that somebody else is about to be at that rank, or you already have like people at that rank. So you getting this Cadillac relies on your team underneath you, not your personal sales and your effort to make those sales happen. It relies on your team staying at their ranks so you can stay at yours.
And it just depends how serious you're taking your business. And if you get the car, you're pretty serious. Because you're like, I better be doing this because I got to pay for this car payment. And I can honestly tell you that I've never not had money cover my car payment since I got the car. And that's been a real blessing considering, I mean, we totally had no idea what was going to happen with this. But that's basically, in a nutshell, how the car program works. It has to be a white Cadillac, and it has to be 5 years or newer. And yeah, so like I said, you can choose to do it, choose not. For me, I was always kind of living my life in such a way that I was always going to have a car payment. And so I just figured, well, if I'm making a car payment, I may as well get the extra $500 from Monat and let them pay for a chunk of it. You know, an extra $500 a month is silly if I'm always having a car payment. Little did we know that we were going to be adopting twins and have a daughter that was one day going to have a wheelchair, and so we need all the space that we can get in my car, and so it...
I'm just saying, for me, if my name has to be on the car and my credit has to be ran, I don't like that the company gets to pick the car. Like, because if I'm getting that $500, I don't want a white Cadillac. And that also makes me crazy. It's like triggering a bit. If it was like in their name and somehow like associated with them, and then kind of locking me in a contract of staying with Monat for so long in order to keep the car, sure. But I don't know. I would rather get a different car if it was up to me, especially if it had to be in my name. That's just me.
It's just like my blessing car. But someone just asked in the chat that if you earn the car and you don't get the car, do you still get the car payment? And the answer is no. You only get the car allowance if you have the car or drive or opt into the car program.
Okay, yeah, so that's what I was saying, where you only get it if you opt into the car program. Then you have to get the cars that they choose. And it's weird to me that like once your car is paid off, they still continue giving you the car bonus, but if you decide not to get the car, then they won't give you the car bonus. I don't know. I don't think that's fair, but maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comments about all of this.
And then they do give you a reimbursement like towards a down payment, sales tax and whatever the licensing costs are. Like, you know what I mean? It wasn't as much as we were going to be putting down on it, but I did trade in. I went to CarMax for mine, okay?
So she even just admitted to that it wasn't as much as they were going to put down on the car. And to me, that's like, it wasn't as much as they needed to put down on the car. At least, like I said, I'm pretty sure it's only like $1,000. So depending on like what car you get and what the taxes are and what state you're in, that $1,000 is most likely not even going to cover what you need to pay for the taxes. That is like the minimum down payment that you need whenever you buy a car off the lot. You at least need to pay the taxes. And then if you have a bigger down payment, that helps with their monthly costs and stuff like that. But you at least, when you buy a new car, you have to cover the taxes before you leave the lot or sign any contract. If you don't have that amount of money in cash, well, not in cash, but like in a checking account, then you can't buy the car. They won't let you.
I wasn't about to drive a new one off a lot. We were very, I would say, thrifty about it. And I went to CarMax. We found a white one with black interior. They had bench seat because I didn't want bucket seats. Like, there were certain things, and they're actually really hard to find. So anyways, and I traded in my old car and had that go towards, this one, and did all that and stuff. And so,
doesn't that kind of suck? Like, you're so limited to like what they require you to get. So if you want certain features, it makes it a lot harder to find at a lower price for you to feel okay with buying. Like, she was even like, we're not going to buy a new one off a lot. So you're not going to go pick the one that has all the features because you don't want to spend that much money because you're not getting enough money monthly to pay for the whole car payment. So you're looking on CarMax and crossing your fingers and hoping you can find the one with the right features and saying how hard that was to find. Just pointing out more things.
it's really just super cool. I never, ever thought that I would be someone driving a car for a direct sales company. But I absolutely just love it. And often I am so in with my life that I forget like what a huge blessing it really is. And I remember all of the year before, kind of unbeknownst to me, but just to give you like a little inkling, I was always a month behind on my car payments. And there was a few months where it was like, oh shoot, like I'm just gonna have to double up next month. And you guys, like, I remember what that felt like. And I'm like I'm saying to you, I never thought I would be in this position. And so many of the girls on our team that have been blessed enough in their business to be driving one of this is so crazy. Like, they all say the same thing. Like, I can't even believe that I'm driving this car and that I'm really doing this. I mean, no one ever feels like, yeah, I can't wait to do that. Like, most people are like, I don't know if that'll ever be me, but I'm just going to follow the steps and do what you tell me to do. And something like this. So that's it. I think that this business, and I don't know if you're watching this, and if you are, living paycheck to paycheck or never have taken a vacation in a long time. My husband and I were huge on not traveling when we first were married because we were both commission only and all kinds of things. Like, I only made money if I was behind the chair. Like, I couldn't send a client in to go buy something and get me the commission, like it's just like not how it worked. So, that is definitely gonna have to go. But if you are someone that's in Monat and you are watching this and you are at MMB or AMM or even heck, even if you're thinking,
I just want to like stop and say something one more time. Like, I know I've stopped this a lot and like interject in my opinion, but that's what we're here for, right? So, or maybe you're not, and if you're not, then why are you still watching the video? But so the part about, because she's a hairstylist, I'm a hairstylist, and she's saying like we're commission only, sure, so we only make money when we're behind a chair. It's not like I get paid vacations and things like that. But as somebody who has just like recently kind of figured out through coaching programs and stuff how to actually scale my business as a hairstylist and make more money working less hours, and which is, there's a lot of different factors that make that possible. It's frustrating that as a hairstylist, I even said this while I was in Monat, that I felt like I needed Monat to do that. And it's just not true, because I've had plenty of weeks where I only worked 3 days and then still made more money than the weeks that I work 4. So that's just me like kind of defending my industry as a stylist, that you don't need Monat to take a vacation. Like, you can scale your business and you can do other things to make that possible for you and still have that freedom and flexibility as a hairstylist and in a lot of other industries. Or you could just get like a 9-to-5 job that pays well and has paid vacation, and then you can just, do that instead.
About joining you. I earned my Cadillac in 6 months. I've had girls on my team earn theirs in 7 months. I've had girls on my team earn theirs in 3 years. I mean, it looks so different for everyone. So don't hold yourself in such a position of comparison for other people's journeys, because It's truly up to you how hard you're willing to work, how fast you're willing to go, how coachable you are being, and just how much you're not letting fear be in control of your, of your decisions. Because had I let fear of being a professional hairstylist, well esteemed in my industry, celebrity hairstylist, whatever you want to call it, had I let myself go, am I really going to join a hair care direct sales company? What are they going to say about me? Had I let that fear of my reputation get in the way of any of this, I wouldn't be driving this car. I wouldn't be able to have the work day I did today where I went to a picnic and now I get to go in and just hang out with my kids and turn off my phone if I want. Like, I always had to be behind a chair to make money. And now I am the one in control of my schedule, which is really, really, really freaking cool. Especially just as we get close to payday and when commissions drops and we know what our paycheck's going to be.
I'm also in control of my schedule, and I know what my paycheck's going to be before I get paid. So there's that.
Tomorrow, feeling very blessed and overwhelmed, and my goal in life is to help as many people as possible. So if you have made it this far in the video and you're not partnered with anyone yet, I absolutely want you to know I want to partner with you. I'm looking for coachable people who never thought their life could be more than what it is, and I thought I was gonna die behind a chair, and I was happy with that. So it's not like you have to be sad in your life. It's just like, do you stress the bills? Are you stressed for your work days? I mean, I used to never have Saturdays off, ever, never once. I missed birthday parties, I missed things, my daughter's birthday.
I take a lot of Saturdays off, and I still make the same amount of money when I don't work Saturdays, like I was saying earlier in the video, like 2 minutes ago. So, just saying.
It had to be like on a weeknight, like it was something else. So, I'm gonna leave.
And I'm not trying to brag as a stylist, I'm just like saying that like there are ways to make adjustments to your schedule, especially if you are somebody that makes your own schedule and runs your own business, whether it's, in the beauty industry or something else, or you're working a sales job and you do make commissions. Like, there's ways to like modify that schedule, or, to just have like a regular like corporate job that gives you paid vacations, like to also have that option.
Guys, with that, but hopefully that kind of gives you a better understanding of how the car program works. And yeah, I can't wait to chat with you if you're interested. All right, bye.
Okay, so I mean, that covered a lot, right? And she gave a lot of good information and a lot of like information that I kind of wanted to, I won't want to say debunk, but just kind of like fill in the gaps of what she's saying, because I mean, she said in a nutshell, but it was like breaking down more stuff to understand why it's not as good as she was trying to make it sound. So I'm looking at the Monat Market Club now, and I just wanted to cover a few more things that she didn't cover. That also, when you, and I'll probably take screenshots of these or something and put them in the video so that way you can see on this side or whatever side. This side? Yeah, that side. Nope, this side. I'm going to put them on this side. So, marketing and testimonials. So when you're in the Monat Market Club, when you receive your white Cadillac or Jaguar or Range Rover, so I was right, it's a Jaguar, you must provide a photo and testimonial to Monat, so that way they may feature you in print, web, or marketing pieces. So a high-resolution digital photo, short testimonial about how it feels to receive your new vehicle, and your name and market partner ID and all that, your information. And then you acknowledge that the picture and testimonials their all rights title become property of Monat. So your picture and all that becomes Monat's property, and they just use you as like, a marketing tool to get people interested in the Monat Market Club. And the more they have of those, obviously, the better that looks for the company. But it talks about the contract you execute for purchase or lease is between you and the car dealership or financial institution, so we did cover that. The Monat Market Club bonus must be used for the monthly purchase or lessee payment of a white Cadillac. Bonus funds in excess payment are to be used at the market partner's discretion. So if you manage to find one that's less than the $500 bonus that they get, then you get to keep it. At least there's that. It's really hard to find a Cadillac, though, that is less than that. As an SED, a senior executive director, if you have a current lease, or the recommendation is to wait until your current lease expires and choose to upgrade before your current lease expires. Monat is not responsible for any fees incurred as a result for the upgrade that you do at your sole and absolute discretion. So I don't know if that means like once you reach a higher rank and you get a bigger bonus, like I don't know if you just start getting the bonus, but it looks like, or if you decide to move from the Cadillac to the Range Rover, it sounds like you can't just swap it out, and if you do, you have to pay the difference in fees. I'm pretty sure Cadillacs don't hold their value the way some cars do. I personally have a Jeep Wrangler right now. My lease is up in a year, but even if I traded it in right now early, my Jeep is still worth more than the buyout price on the lease. So I would technically have money towards a down payment on a different car if I were to trade it in now. But I don't think it's like that with a Cadillac. So you would be forced, if you're turning in a lease early, you would have to pay every single lease payment, like for the remaining of the lease period, plus whatever the lease termination penalty is, and before you could get a new car. And then you would need the down payment for the new lease and all that stuff. So just a little car information for you. I've been trying to buy a car for a while. So I think that's what that part means. And important considerations. There's a bunch of like extra stuff that, so the Motor Club bonus will be included in the Market Partners 1099. So it's showing you, so say if, what's 500 times 12? So that's you making an extra $6,000 for the year that you have to pay taxes on. I mean, obviously it's income. That would be like anything else, but those are pretty much the highlights. There's a lot of extra details in the Monat Motor Club terms and conditions, which you guys could Google, and I will actually link I'll put a link in it at the bottom in case you guys really want to go through and read everything. It's a lot and it's insane, but I just really wanted to cover this. I thought it was really important. I know there are a lot of other videos out there that cover the Monat Motor Club and some of the other car programs that are with MLMs, but I feel like enough can't be said about it, that it is very important to understand how it works and just understand how buying a car works alone, and then putting that together with the information that you get through the MLM. So that is all. If you guys like this video, please subscribe to my channel for more to come, and hit that like button. If you didn't like it, then dislike it. That helps too. So leave your comments and let me know what you think, and I will see you guys on the next video. Thanks again.